So, it was just a few days ago that there was a false missile alarm, maybe a week ago, half a week ago, whatever the fuck, where Hawaii was on alert because there was a ballistic missile alert that said, this isn't a test, this is real. There's a ballistic missile, shelter now. And people were fucking terrified, and they were crying, and they were calling their loved ones and texting them and saying, I love you, I've always loved you, and people had to make decisions. Who do I spend the last fucking hour of my life with? Do I gotta go back to the airport where I just dropped my son off? Do I go to where my wife is at work? Do I go home with the two smaller kids? People had to make these insane decisions. There were stories of people in hotels who got into bathtubs and put mattresses over them in the hopes that would make them survive the fallout. There were people driving to get to the fringes of Hawaii because they thought, hey, the missile's going to strike in the middle. Maybe we'll survive if we're on the edge. I mean, I can't imagine what the feeling was like for those people, and no human being should have to go through that. And just a quick side point on that. Imagine what it's like perpetually living under U.S. drones that routinely attack innocent civilians, where you hear the drones overhead, and you're in Pakistan or Yemen or Somalia or any of the places where we're doing drone strikes. We're bombing 8 different countries. But if it was a radicalizing experience for people and a genuinely terrifying experience to get an alert of a missile threat, and the missile didn't even come, imagine what it's like when you're living under drones and you do see the drones attack all the time. So, different story for a different day. We could put that aside for now, but just an interesting side point and some food for thought. Is that the phrase, food for thought? Fruit for thought? It's definitely food. I think it's food, even though fruit is a food. Anyway, I'm way off wandering in the wilderness here. But look at this amazing thing that happened during the missile threat and then after. This is Pornhub's traffic. When the missile threat happened, boom, a collapse of interest in porn. And this is something I mentioned on Kyle and Corin, where we were talking about something similar to this. And I said, when you learn you have that much time left, Corin was like, what do you do? And one of the points I made is, well, I'm definitely not, like, nobody's going to, like, try to get a last nut in or something like that, because your life is on, like, the line. Your survival instinct kicks in. You're going to want to try to go find a way to survive. You're not going to be like, let me bust a nut and then get obliterated. So, and that's what I was right. There was a 77% decrease of people using Pornhub, just a collapse of people on Pornhub when that missile threat hit. Now, when the missile threat was over, a gigantic swing, and at 9:01 a.m., 48% increase. So people were like, oh shit, we're gonna die, and nobody was on porn. And the second they got, oh, by the way, this wasn't real. This was a mistake, they say. By the way, I don't think it was a mistake now, because the same kind of thing happened in Japan, a false missile alert. It's because of North Korea, and they're running tests. This is what they're doing. But 48% increase. So people were like, oh shit, okay, we're okay. Anyway, where's the search engine? Let me type it. Latina MILF takes it deep. Oh, God, that's funny. That's funny. But, I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see that, like, you're thinking you're going to die, you're in a state of dread, you're trying to think of how to survive and what to do, who to say goodbye to, how to move forward. And then when you learn, nah, son, you're good. It's like, oh, okay, I feel better. Let's come. Because I think we've all probably had a similar experience. Like, you're really nervous, you have like a job interview or something. Not that a job interview is analogous to learning you're going to die within an hour. But like, it's just a pressure-filled thing. It's like, oh my God, I got to fucking do this job interview now. You walk out, you think you nailed it. And then you're like, all right, rest of the day free, what do I do? You're like, how about we go bust a nut, bitch? Time to celebrate. So I actually get the mental process there. It kind of makes sense, but it is hilarious that it really came to fruition when you look at the data. So, all right, there we have it. When people are panicked, the last thing they want to do is bust a nut. When people are relieved, the first thing they want to do is bust a nut. It's science.